it's Moley here and welcome to my video and my channel. You're going to be watching me draw and I'm going to be answering some questions that people have been asking me over this past year about my EF career vlogs videos. It is one of my fastest growing videos on my channel, currently at 5.5k, and honestly it was one of my favorite videos to edit, but they also take me an extremely long time to edit. Maybe they will help people out who are deciding to do a study abroad or want to go with EF South Korea. So before we start the questions, we're going to be doing a speed painting of a city pop style art. It's kind of a mixture of 80s neon with anime style, 80s kind of anime. I hope you guys enjoy the drawing whilst I talk in the background. Recently I've been so stressed and I have so much work to do that I needed a break, so I haven't posted for the past month, but I've been hitting it up with my shorts game. My shorts game. YouTube shorts, TikTok, Insta. Don't be surprised if you see a lot more shorts coming from me because that is my gateway right now. That is my jam right now. So let's jump into the questions, and I'm actually gonna start on Instagram. So the first question that I got was, how long did it take for EF to get back to you? I'm guessing after they replied, I sent them an email, what happened? I mean, my case was a little bit different. So I think I just searched up study abroad South Korea. I think I saw a video about studying abroad. I was like, oh my god, I'd love to do that for South Korea. Oh, I know why. I was watching the YouTuber Rafi Puff, I think his name is. I'll put it here. I don't know if he still makes videos, but I was obsessed with his videos. He's been to Japan, learned Japanese and all sorts of stuff. He said he studied abroad, so I was like, oh my god, I would love to do that for Korean. I was researching study abroad places and I came across EF languages, and I brought it up with my parents and they didn't find it trustworthy. They didn't understand. They just didn't think it was safe. When we were in London for a weekend, I said to them, hey, can we go check out the EF languages office space? You can see that it's an actual business and that they have campuses all over the world and that it is trustworthy and safe. My parents agreed to go with me and we went to EF in London. We actually shouldn't have been there because technically it's an office space for people to work in, not an office space for people to come in. But I went in there and I said, oh hey, I'd love to go to South Korea, but my parents kind of need some reassurance that this is safe and that you guys will look after me, because it was my first time abroad by myself. We met with a guy, I can't remember his name right now, but he really helped out. He explained to my parents, yeah, we have so many campuses, this is the whole booklet of campuses we have, his contact information, any questions you just ask me, you email me, and then she'll be all right. If you want to book it, it's all online. Yeah, my parents old-fashioned ways. Just sign in on the EF website, I think I did, and you just book everything on there, all the flights, all the what course you want to take, everything like that. Planning and everything, it did take probably 2 weeks of back and forth communication. It was really quick, to be honest. They give you plenty of options. They asked if they wanted to organize the airport flight, and my parents said no, we'll organize the flight because you can book it with them. But my parents thought they could probably find it a little bit cheaper on their own. It was so expensive, but it was 110% worth it. My parents organized the airplane flight, and we just had to update EF with what airplane flight we're gonna go on. That's probably way too much information, but that's a very in-depth kind of beginning of some of the things they will ask you, and if you're underage that they want to know these things. Next question, do you have to know Korean to go there? You do not have to know Korean. There are classes from level beginners to intermediate. Beginners 1, beginners 1B. I joined 1B because I knew a little bit of Korean beforehand. You do not at all have to know Korean. If you are a scratch beginner that doesn't even know Hangul, they will teach you everything. So I would recommend though learning a little bit because it will help you kind of gain an edge. Why not? It's not that difficult to learn Hangul by yourself. Also, if you fly there, how do you get to the school or the room you're staying in? Do you get a taxi, or does the school send a bus or something? EF does provide a service. Obviously it's extra paid. So my parents, for my safety, wanted to book a taxi to get me from the airport to the homestay and back from the homestay to the airport at the end. EF sent a taxi for me when I came out the airport after going through all the paperwork. The taxi man had my name and he was waiting for me there. Actually, I walked past him and I don't think he was there, or I didn't have the sign up at least, and I was waiting there for about an hour and I was calling my mom and I was like, Mom, he's not here. I don't know what to do. So I had to kind of walk back and forth in the airport, and then I kind of walked back to the, like, you know, the arrivals door, and I saw my name. I was like, hi, I've been here for like an hour, and either I arrived early or he was a little bit late. I can't fully remember the story because it was ages ago and I was stressed out. Funny story, I almost missed the taxi. It's like, that's like a whole story time. Like, I can remember the stress of that day, but there was so much going on. It doesn't have to be like that for you. That was just my experience, and I was still really glad that I had a taxi man to pick me up. He was really nice, he was really, really sweet. Taxi works well and I felt really safe and I never felt like uneasy at any point. I was just like bedazzled by the whole of Korea. We're gonna go into girl 3. Oh, I think it's actually a boy. And he said, when you have nothing to do in the afternoon, can you go outside by yourself without EF manager or somebody else? Like, are you free to move in Seoul alone? That is a great question. Yes, you are completely free to do whatever you want. You can even skip classes if you want. Don't quote me on that. But you need like a certain amount of attendance to pass and get a certificate to say, yes, I studied EF languages. I missed like 1 or 2 sessions because I was like ill, like kind of sick. And classes were usually from 9 to 2 p.m. Because I did the general course and my friend did like the extreme course. Michaela, I'm talking about. She was always so busy and I never got to see her as much during the week. So in the videos, that's why you only really see her in like one of the days, because I only got to hang out with her on weekends because that's when she was free and our schedules matched up. For example, I would have classes 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then I could go home, whereas she would have classes from 2 till like 6, I think it was, or 5. Our schedules would always be like, I'm evening, she's morning, or I'm morning, she's evening. So if you like have a friend there or you make a friend and you're on different like classes, just know your schedules might not be in sync. But yes, you're free to go by yourself. They don't like monitor you like you're a child. You're in a country by yourself, they know that, and they want you to experience Korea. Obviously, if you're underage, depends who you're staying with. If you're with a homestay family, they're meant to keep tabs on you. So my homestay, he was like always calling me like, are you alright? You know, do you like, I know you finished class. Do you want, like, how are you gonna get home? You know, we're gonna go somewhere, so make sure you arrive home at this time. Make sure you take this train. Make sure you take this, you know, whatever. So that was really good. That's why I kind of liked having a homestay family, because they look after you like a family would. Whereas if you're in accommodation, I know they have like what you call like curfew. So like after 11 p.m. you had to be back in the residency, and if you weren't, they're not gonna let you back in after 11 p.m. or like I think maybe in trouble because they do have a curfew set up. Even at homestay, I did have a curfew too, like 11, 12. She didn't want me out too late, but I was always home before then, and if I was out past that time, I was always with her or my homestay sister, so I was always safe. Or I was like constantly like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm gonna be home by this time. I just might be a bit late because we got lost, you know, like I was honest with her. You are like free to go explore as long as you kind of tell, like if you're with a homestay family, you tell them, hey, I'm gonna be out for a little bit, you know, just give them an update because they might want to cook you dinner or like expect you home at a certain time. We also had another question, which was, did your Korean level increase a lot during 1 month? So I went for 3 weeks, and by gosh, my Korean, I can't even lie to you, the way I could understand Korean was just so intense. I have let my Korean like fall at the moment. My Korean listening was amazing. Like I would listen to conversations on the underground, I'm like, wow, oh my god, okay. When Korean people would talk to me, because my speaking wasn't like, you know, amazing, but I could definitely 100% understand what they were asking me. It was so crazy. Like from when I arrived, I couldn't understand too much, and listening wise, everything was a blur. So surreal that it was starting to come together and things started to make sense. And that's one thing I definitely miss about that place. So will your Korean improve? 110, 500,000, 1,000,000%, your Korean will definitely improve, because you're literally you're immersed into the culture. You're going to be hearing Korean on the bus, you're going to be hearing it on the radio, you're going to be hearing everywhere. On to the next question. I feel like this video is going to be super long. I might make a part 2 if it's required, but probably won't need it. Okay, so lady number 4. So she had a lot of questions, well, 3 questions, and we're going to get into that. So she said, number 1, do your parents get involved if you are over 18? 100% they do. Because you are a minor, they have to get involved because you are not an adult. Your parents have to sign for you, or your parent or carer have to sign to allow you to go. EF was like, we need your sign. You know, we can't just take your child. You can't just send your child on an airplane and not like confirm that you've sent your child on an airplane. Next question, do you recommend staying with a family? 100% I do. Reason why, even if you are a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old, I think it's actually a really good idea to stay with a Korean family. Reason why is because your immersion will go out the roof. If you are staying in a residency, you're going to be with other students and you're going to be talking in English, French, German, whatever languages they speak. That's what you can be speaking in. You're not going to be speaking in Korean. Now, when you stay with a family, oh my God, they're going to take you out to all the best places they know. They're going to speak to you in Korean. You like have people you now know in Korea if you decide to go back, and you can go and say, hi, what's up? They will cook. Like my homestay mom used to make me Korean breakfast every morning, and she always took me out to like have dinner, and she was just like so sweet. The sister and the mom, they honestly have like a place in my heart because it was such an amazing time that it's something I will never forget. Just how kind they were to me. I'm literally tearing up. But if you have a good homestay family, it makes your experience so much better because you have memories with these people. Also, you're there to learn Korean. They will help immerse you into Korean and teach you cultural stuff like, oh, we do things differently here because, you know, our background is this. And go stay with a homestay family because it's such a unique experience. A lot of people have never done that. There was some people that had bad experiences with their homestay family. Like a girl I knew had a bad experience with her homestay family and requested that she was moved to a different one because I can't remember what the issue was, but she just didn't feel happy or safe. So they did move her to a different family. If you are worried about something like that, EF is there to provide you support, and if something does, you know, go wrong, they will help you through that. I think she got moved to a better family and she did enjoy the rest of it. It's just unfortunate that happened for the first part of her like trip. I was the first person staying with my homestay family, so I was I was their first experience of that. But there was a couple of people that had, you know, they've been doing it for maybe like a couple years, or it was their second year doing it. So yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about that because they are a legitimate company that is meant to check and background check people. So, and the last question is, was it expensive? Yes, it was expensive. It was crazily expensive, but I would do it again in a heartbeat. It was about £1,000 for the flight alone. You do have to bear in mind that it was a 12-hour flight, which is going to be expensive. So hi guys, post-editing Moley here, and I just wanted to add in that the flight alone cost about £1,000 from England. But on top of that, it was about £300 to £600 for the course alone. And then I spent about £400 while I was there on food and going out and stuff like that. And then there's some extra money because you have to pay for, like, if you want to do extra activities outside of classes with the school, you have to pay for those yourself as well. So quite a bit of money goes into this. So you do really need to think really hard and save up quite a lot to for these trips. Yeah, it is what it is. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I'm not even gonna lie. And the last question is, I wanted to know if you can learn Korean with EF if you're staying there for 2 weeks and doing a general course, and if they give you the book afterwards. Yes, you're allowed to keep the books. That is actually part of your fees, is that you're paying for the textbooks you're gonna use. You use the Seoul National University textbooks. If you're gonna go to EF, go for a month. The reason why I'm saying this, I think every month or 3 weeks you move up a level, as long as you've passed like, you know, like mini mock tests and they're comfortable for you to go up a level. I was there for 3 weeks, so literally on the last week we all moved up a level, which I was so like glad for. So I got 4 textbooks because you get a workbook, a textbook, and then when you move up you get the new workbook and textbook. So I moved from level 1B to 2A. I have the very textbooks right here. So when you start out, you use the 1B books, which are yellow. So it's 1B and 1A. So obviously I don't have 1A because I wasn't in that class. All in Korean though. But remember, you're actually, I don't know if you know this, you're being taught in Korean. There is no English in the classroom. Here's my second class, which is 2A. And I got the workbook and textbook for that. So all of us who like moved up in that last week, we were all like, yes, we get double the textbooks to take back home. So this next question is, hey, I saw your YouTube video about EF Korea and I wanted to ask you if you would do it again and if you think that 3 weeks are enough to have fun. Do I think 3 weeks was enough time? Yes and no. I think that there was pros and cons to it, to be honest. 3 weeks was not enough time in some ways because I could have done more exploring, and they had like trips to Busan that I never did and I wish I did. And I just feel like if I had an extra week or two, I could have done so much more exploring and my Korean would have again developed more. And I think I actually would have really liked to have stayed another week. So I think a month's actually a really good time to stay. But at the same time, I was incredibly homesick. For the first 2 weeks, I was like, yes, I'm here in Korea, oh my god, so much to do, so much to see, so much to learn. And I was like going out all the time. And then like third week, homesickness just hit me. And I was kind of sick of sharing my space constantly with people. I shared a room with my homestay sister. I'm glad she was just an incredible person. For me, sometimes I just need space. And I was constant with people and my homestay family always wanted me to go out. In that last week, I just kind of wanted to go home and see my family. You know, like just chill with them. Because I can remember it so vividly. Like the last week, I was just so done. Like I was so exhausted. That's why I say 3 weeks was like kind of a cutoff point for me, because I think another week and I would have literally been like, please don't talk to me. Like I don't want to be like that, but because I'm so introverted, like I needed at least 2 days by myself. Just be by myself, nobody like talking to me. And then I probably would have been fine. But when I got back to, immediately when I got back to England, I was like, can I go back? Like, I don't want to be here. Like straight away, as soon as I landed, I was like, oh, forget this. I want to go back to Korea. That's why I say yes and no, because I didn't think I was like a homesick person. I didn't know I got like that, but I guess I've never been away from my family for that long to know that I get homesick like that. Yeah, for me it was like, probably now I would go for like 2 months and not miss my family. Great, that is that question answered. These are great questions, by the way. Everyone answered like really in-depth questions. All right, next question, which I'm trying to find. Oh my god, I gave her a very large answer. I'm going to Korea this summer and I'm a little bit scared. You know, being alone, etc. Ha ha ha. So, first question is about homestay family. When did you get your information about them? 2 weeks or a month, like before I went? Then a month before, it sent me an email saying, hey, we've updated it, have a look. So I looked at it and I was like, oh my god, she's there. So I saw my homestay mom's name, I saw the address I was staying at, and I saw her contact number so I could contact her before, get to know her, ask her any questions, you know, and just talk to her. So I remember like as soon as I got it, I sent that information to my mom. I was like, hey, this is the address I'm staying at. So when I'm in Korea, you know exactly where I am. And yeah, so it updates you on the actual EF website that you have put all the information in. Number 2, how was your stay at the host family? Amazing, incredible, loved it, never had a bad experience. It was only because of the last week when I was homesick that I started to hate it, but that's just because I'm introverted and I needed 2 minutes alone. Remember, everyone has different homestay experiences. For example, one of my friends, she was like with a older lady who was like in her mid-20s, and they were like, more like, she called her Annie because she was more like siblings with her. Like she would take her places and they go and drink and stuff because she was of legal age. For me, I was underage, and I was with like a mom and her daughter and her son. So for me, it was more like a family experience, and I really bonded with my homestay sister like incredibly a lot. For Michaela, my other friend, she had her homestay family was a like again mid-20s woman, and she was actually staying in a homestay with 2 other EF residencies. For her, it was completely different because she was staying with, I think they were from Europe, so her 2 roommates were from Europe, and then the homestay mom was more like again like an older sister. When she was at work for like a work weekend, her homestay mom's mom would look after her. So everyone has different homestay family ones, like experiences. I got a really good family and I'm really happy about that. Number 3, did you take the EF transfer from the airport? If so, how did it look like? So like I said, at the airport, he is there holding a sign with your name on it, and yeah, you go with him. I think he has EF languages like on the top of it too, so you know it's like, you know, not just random. And yeah, you just get him, you just like show him your information. EF I think maybe contact you as well saying your taxi man is this guy's name. He should be there. Number 4, how were the teachers at EF campus? Were they nice? They were incredible. I never had a bad teacher. They were not strict. They were not horrible to you. They treated you like human beings and not like children. But kind of like a university setting. Like, you're here to learn. Obviously, if you don't want to learn, that's on you. But you're here to learn. I literally passed out in class during a test. Like, I fell asleep because I'd been up all night with my homestay sister, like giggling all night. Watching stuff, like movies. Literally, she tapped my shoulder. And she's like, hey, you okay? You fell asleep? Okay, she's like, you need it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She's like, don't worry about it. Just sleep. Like, not in class, but like when I get home. You have 1 or 2 teachers that teaches you like every day. And yeah, I actually got the Instagram of one of the teachers, so I still watch her stuff because she's like also an English teacher elsewhere. You get a teacher for your specific course that you pick. So on your course, you can pick a subject to kind of like specialize in. Could be speaking, could be listening, could be reading, it could be like Korean culture, could be Korean arts and crafts, could be like Korean movies. And I picked like listening because that was really important to me, because listening and reading was important, so I picked those. And you get a teacher specifically for that, so once a week you do like special lessons. So you're not with your like level class, you're kind of mixed with all the levels that have picked that special course to do. It's really good. I was a bit stressed at the start because I thought I'm with people I don't know, but it's really useful and they're not horrible. It's very fast paced, that's the only thing, but like after a couple of days you get used to the fast pacedness. So like, don't worry, you are a quick learner, but you just need a bit of time to adjust to all Korean and really fast. Like they want you to pick up stuff fast. So yeah. The 5th question is, how did EF activities go? EF activities are incredible. I think every Tuesday after class, you can sign up and do like a kind of meeting where you go out with other EF students and you go eat chicken, or you wear hanboks, you go karaoke's. It was really cool. I did the one on my first week to go eat chicken, and I did that with Michaela, and it was really fun. We really enjoyed it. You walk from you walk from EF to like a part of Seoul. You all go on like the underground together, or you just walk around. Like, they take you to a chicken place near the campus, and you just go eat and talk to the students around you. But there's not just that, you can do other stuff. Like, there was trips to Busan for like 2 nights, which I wish I did. May actually did it, and I'm so jealous because she said it was amazing, and I would have met her on that trip too and like spoken to her earlier because I met her in my last week. But I heard that was really good. So there's different activities. You just have to look on your app, because they'll give you an app on your phone and you can sign up to classes that way. Just be aware it costs money to book them, because you have to buy credits on the app, and then with that credits, that's how you book these special events and stuff like that. And the last question is, how did the classes look like, what hour, and etc. Classes were for about an hour, which was lovely, because sometimes like when the classes are like for 5 hours straight and you're in the same space with the same teacher doing the same thing, it's horrible. But classes were always an hour long. Then afterwards you get like a break for 5 minutes when the next teacher comes in, but they were in bulk, so you had 3 classes. So you had an hour each class, it's 3 hours, and that would be your day if you're a general course. And the teachers always gave you space to chill, because they know like you are bombarded with Korean and information and grammar stuff. So they give you time to chill. And you always get like lunchtime, and underneath, like the campus is in an apartment like on the 3rd floor. You can go down to the bottom floor and you can go get kimbap or iced tea, or you can get coffee, or you can get ice cream, or you could get ramen in the little convenience store that was on the bottom floor. So they always was like, guys, go have lunch, yeah, come back to class in like 15 minutes. And yeah, that's all for that question. Maybe let's do a quick draw questions. Maybe that's a good idea. Okay, so the next question is, how much did it cost? It costed around £900, but I spent £400 while I was there, because it's expensive to live out there. Next question, is your Korean better than before? Yes, it was. Not anymore, because I don't learn Korean anymore, but I need to get back into that. That's another story. But my Korean was extraordinary when I left. It was amazing, and I could speak to people in Korean and have no issues. Promise you, hand on my heart, and cross my heart, hope to die. It was amazing. And do you have free time when you're there? If you do the extreme course, be wary because free time is very valuable. But if you do general course like I did, free time, you have quite a lot of it, and it was pretty fun. Hi, so this is from a guy, and he was saying, what are the demographics like there? Was it mostly girls? Was it like 50-50 split? Also, were there a lot of people under 18? Okay, there was a crazy amount of different ages. A lot of people were between like 20 to 26, I'd say. That was like a lot of the age range. But there was people that were in their 30s there. There were people that were 15, 16. I don't think there was any like 14 belows because demographic of, I don't know, because parents safety sending their kid, I don't know. But yeah, there was quite a lot of people. There was not a lot of guys, to be honest. In my class there was like one guy and there was about 10 girls, and then for another class I saw there's like another again like maybe 2 guys and 8 girls. So definitely it is like 80-20 like girl to guy ratio. Obviously a lot of people that learn Korean are girls because of that K-pop culture. I'm assuming that's like a lot of the demographic. Of course there's guys there, but there wasn't a lot of guys. But I did see like probably 6 guys there out of all the girls. Pretty much a majority of people are over 18. Maybe there's like 20% that are below 18. If you're a guy going there, I think you just kind of have to not worry about that, and kind of you just have to know that there's a lot of females, not much guys. Okay, another question. Oh my god, I gave a large answer for this guy, but it's another guy. He said, how was it overall? I mean, the people, the host, live, what was your perspective of it? And he was saying, oh, compared to Tokyo, he was saying that he's heard the people are cold and it's not as vibrant in South Korea as it is in Tokyo. The teachers were helpful. I thought like my homestay family was so helpful as well. They tried to make my experience good, and my homestay mom really took care of me. Like at one time, because she knew I was going to bed so late all the time, she took my phone off me. Like she was like, I don't trust you with your phone. At nighttime, you have to give it to me because you don't go to sleep on time properly. And so I got my phone confiscated. But she meant all well, but I was a little bit annoyed because like it was my phone. But then now I completely understand why she did it, because I was not going to sleep on time and I was missing, like not missing classes, but I was kind of late to some classes because I wasn't sleeping. We just kind of talked, so let's move on to the next one. He was a great guy, loved your question, loved your conversation. Okay, moving on to the last 2 questions because this is almost an hour long. She said, so I saw your video and I have a few questions because I'm traveling alone this summer and I am really nervous. So her question was, so did you travel alone to Korea or were there other people on your plane from EF? So I traveled alone. I was actually like one of the only people from England. I'm 100% positive. I did not meet any other English people. I met one American, which was Michaela, and then everyone else was French or German. I met a lot of German people. French, German. I met a couple people from like, was it Poland? I can't remember exactly where. Everyone else was European. Michaela was the only American I met, and then May was the only person in the Netherlands I met. I was the only English person, and then everyone else was French or German. So that's like kind of the demographic there, a lot of European people. Not complaining at all. It was amazing to hear like everyone's different stories and like where they're from, and like hear like they were so amazing. Their English was so amazing. Actually, there was a couple of people, not in my class but the higher classes, that were from Japan and they didn't speak a word of English, but obviously they were there to learn Korean, and because everything is taught in Korean, it's actually kind of good because there's no language barrier, because everyone's there to learn Korean and you hear everything in Korean. So if you don't know English, that's not going to prevent you from going because they teach it all in Korean. So there was a lot of people that didn't know any English, and so you had to kind of communicate with them through Korean because that was the only language you would have in common. So that was pretty cool. That also forced you to do Korean. So I hope that answered your question. Oh, sorry. Was there other people on my plane? No, there wasn't, because I was the only person from England. But I did hear that if you obviously book your airplane flight with EF, they would book you on the same flight with the same people coming in the same week as you. You arrive in Korea on Sunday, and then on Monday you start classes. I'm different. We booked the flight ourselves, and I said, hey EF, I want to like come 2 days earlier. I want to meet my family and explore Korea a little bit before I go to class and jump in. So I arrived on either Saturday or Friday. I arrived on the Saturday, and then on the Saturday and Sunday we went to the movies and we went to like Dongdaemun. So I got to kind of talk with my family a bit, meet them up a bit, because on Sunday it would have been like a rush to meet them and everything. Hopefully I'm not talking too fast. But So if you book the flight yourself, you can arrange with them. I did have to pay extra, obviously, because I was staying at one extra night earlier. But that's how it went for me, because I took a little bit of a different route. But see, they do actually allow you to take different routes a little bit. So when you arrive to Incheon, so you arrive at Incheon Airport, and she asked, how do you get there to the school, to the host or the host family? Did they pick you up or do you need a taxi? So I arranged with EF for a taxi to pick me up because that's part of the services they offer. I think some people go on the underground and they just travel to where they need to. They use the map and they find out where the homestay family is or where the EF residential hotel like space is, and they just travel there themselves. My family wanted me to be safe, so they paid extra for the taxi. Yeah, so when you want to get to school, on my first day, my homestay mum actually said, hey, I'm gonna drop you off. So we drove there together. She even took the elevator with me, which you saw in the video, and she like dropped me off and said, have a good day, come when you finish, we're gonna go have bibimbap or something. I can't even remember, but she dropped me off on my first day, and then after that I took the underground every day to school. It took me a while to pick up how to get there because like I am not used to how Korea operates and the underground. How the underground operates because I'm not from London. I don't have an underground, so I had to get used to that. But yeah, most people took buses or the underground to school, or maybe they walked if they were close enough. I don't know if anyone was close enough to walk, but yeah, everyone took the underground, to be honest. So on your phone you have to get like Naver apps. Naver is like Korean Google, and you use that to kind of operate around Korea and figure out how to get to school and everything. So it's important you download that app before you leave Korea so you know exactly how to get to places. I might actually make a video about everything you need to have. Actually, I think on one of my last days in Korea, I made a video like everything you kind of need and what you are given when you go to Korea. So on my last episode, that will probably be uploaded with it. And the last question, oh my god, is this even a question? We literally had a whole full-on conversation. Hi, came across your videos. I looked online and ordered a brochure, but I'm still a little bit lost on things. Do you pay for accommodation with the course as a package, and how do you study a day? Also, is it worth it? Because he wants to go there and paint murals. I said, is it worth it? 110%, of course it's worth it. So how the package works is there are 3 sets. There's like, I don't know what it's called, but I'm just gonna say easy, general, like laid back, general, and crazy. I say get general because it's a good balance of free time and studying. If you do intensive, if you want to get as much Korean as possible and you don't really want to explore Korea that much, yeah, do that. But like, I feel like part of Korea is exploring Korea. So the general is kind of perfect because you can balance the work-life stuff. But when you were intensive, like Michaela did intensive, I never got to see her. And she was like, bro, this is a lot of work. So I don't know what she would do if she was given that option again, but I heard the intensive was pretty crazy. Don't let me stay away from it though. If you want to learn as much Korean as possible, go for the intensive if you want it. But I personally think general is really good because it's a good balance. So you get to explore Korea, but also learn Korean. You know, it's not just learn Korean, but then you didn't even explore Korea at all. You know, you just sat in a classroom for like a month. And you know, you don't want that. In the extensive, you still do get time to go and explore. It's not like you're cramped up in the class all day. So yeah, if you want information, you pretty much gotta email them. They have like very basic information on their brochures and online, and even on the phone, just call and talk to them. But personally, I say like email them, say, hey, I'm interested in this. Ask all the questions you want to ask them. Watch videos about like other people's experiences. That helps like a lot. With the package comes the course, like the textbooks that's included in the price, and obviously the teachers. Another fee you have to pay is accommodation. So obviously from homestead to residential, accommodation would be a lot more expensive. Homestay family would be a lot more expensive, but I think the experience is a lot better, so it's fully worth it. Or you can find your own place in hotel. That was also an option, but I probably do that if you're like an adult. Not if you're underage. I think they really recommend that you stay with a homestay family. So lessons were 4 times a week. So it's about 3 hours, 4 times a week. It was really manageable and it wasn't too bad. I think you do get sometimes a bit tired, like when you're in your 3rd week, because you're like, oh my god, so much information, you know? Because you kind of feel like you're on holiday, but you're also not on holiday because you're there to learn. So you have to kind of get used to that. But of course you learn a lot of Korean. 4 times a week, 4 hours, 4 times a week. Did you get homesick or anything like that? And did you feel like really sad leaving Korea or being locked up for studying, stuff like that. I think that's what he's asking. Like I said, I got homesick bad and I couldn't wait to go home. So yeah, just be aware of that when you do go to Korea. You might get homesick because you're kind of by yourself for, you know, you're in a country with no family. Well, unless you have family there, but I didn't. So making friends is kind of really important, and like talking to people is really important because it can get quite lonely there. So I do recommend you talk to someone. And should I do answer one more before we finish? I think this is the final one. So I got 6 minutes left to film on my camera before it's fully full. So this is from a lovely girl with avocado in her name, and she said, I'm planning to go to Seoul next month and I'm not sure whether to stay in residency or homestay. Go homestay. Honestly, worth it. You, like I said, you live with a Korean family, you get to experience Korea through their eyes. And when you're in a residency, of course you're gonna make friends with people from other countries, but like you're kind of all seeing Korea through each other's eyes. And I feel like when you're with a homestay family, they're gonna teach you stuff. They're gonna explain why these things are. They're gonna say, hey, have you tried this food before that you've never heard of? They're gonna say, hey, we have a festival coming. Do you wanna go? And if you ever get stuck in a situation, they're gonna talk Korean and help you. Like I went to a Korean supermarket, which was crazy. Like it was very interesting seeing like all the different foods and how they like do stuff. And the checkout man was talking to my homestay mom. He was like, oh, people long stocking. And I was like, huh? Like I was like, wait, what did you say? And she's like, no, he's making a joke. He says you look like the lady Pippa Longstocking, you know, from the book with the orange hair and the freckles. And I was like, no, he did not. Like, I didn't know what he was saying, but my homestay mom explained to me what he was saying, and I was like, damn, am I gonna get compared to Pippa Longstockings if I like live in Korea? Because I don't want that. But he said that based on my freckles, he called me Pippa Longstocking. So every time I saw him, he called me Pippa Longstockings. So like that, you're not gonna get that type of experience living in a residency. You know, like there's little quirks that you don't get, and so that's why I say go with a homestay family. And the last question that she has is, does EF take students under their wings a lot, like picking them up from the airport, etc.? Do students have to figure it out on their own? They look after you. I think if you're obviously a grown adult, they understand that you're an adult, so they kind of leave you to do stuff, I think. But speaking from, because I was underage when I went, they looked after me. They always checked in on me. My homestay mom always checked in on me and made sure I was okay. My parents were in constant contact with me every day, and I never felt unsafe at any point. And I felt very protected, and like they look after you and they're making sure that you're okay every step of the way. And they give you like their contacts and everything, so you can contact them if there's any problems or issues. Or when you do go to like EF, when you go on campus, they always have like open doors and like free time to talk to you if you have any questions. Because sometimes I had questions and I went to like the head guy, so the guy that like kind of runs EF Seoul. He was always available. Like you'd think he'd be busy, but he was always available to talk if you needed him to talk. I think his name is Gohan or Johan. I can't remember. I think it's Johan. He was really sweet from what I remember, and he was like not horrible at all. He like always made time to talk. And I think there's another lady as well. She's also there for talking. I think her name is Mina or Yina. I can't fully remember. She was really sweet too. So there's like plenty of staff to help you. Also your teachers are there to kind of help you too if there's any issues. And yeah, they were really comforting. And if you I don't know if I told them I was homesick at any point in time, but I think I did tell them like I'm so tired. And they were like, they did help me sometimes through some stuff. So I felt very secure and I didn't feel safe at any point. And at that note, we're gonna end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed my drawing as well, my little city pop drawing of my beautiful woman. I don't know what to call her, but I labeled the piece pretty in pink. I think we answered quite a lot of questions today. I hope that explains some things. So if you want any links to EF languages, they will be down below. Their Instagram page, I'm talking about Seoul in specific, their Instagram page, Facebook page, the website for like logging in and everything. And yeah, if you want to go, just do it. You only live life once, just go and do it. Love you guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in another one. Bye.